Welcome to Rehrig Pacific Company here in Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to do a monthly Coditherm PM. First thing you want to do is get all your items together. We're going to need 3-in-1 oil and a squirt tube with a long nozzle on it. Flashlight, Carbaflow 4701 grease, flathead screwdriver, needing those pliers, 13mm wrench open end, and a 2.5mm Allen, and also some PPE gloves. This unit will be hot. It normally runs about 320 degrees. I'm going to put my gloves on. First thing you want to do is power down the unit. Remove your tape. Alright, next we want to drop the roller. You want to do this pretty quick because this roller does not like sitting up against it while it's stopped. It will damage the roller. Put the roller to the side. We're going to remove the set screw that holds the drive shaft line-up pin in place. We're going to remove the drive shaft line-up pin. A little bit more. Alright, we'll get the pin out of the way. Take a rag, we'll wipe this pin off, get the old grease off of it. Okay, now we'll unplug the thermocouple and the heater plug connections. Next we need to loosen the screws on the bottom. And gently push up on each side. The screws should be loose. Get one on the back. While you're pushing up, just let it drop down here and it'll drop right out. Once you get it out, put it to the side. That is a little warm. Also next, we want to put a little grease on this shaft right here. Right in the center, Carbaflow 4701. Fill that hole up. That is riding metal to metal on this pin here that lines it up. Okay, next we want to check the spring plate under the bottom here. Spring plate looks good, no cracks in it. We also want to put a spot of grease on the drive shaft coming out the bottom here. Shine the light so we can see it. There we go. Put a little grease on there. Doesn't take much. If you have any extra running down, make sure you wipe it off and clean up excess oil. Now we're ready to reinstall the transfer carriage. Normally we install a newly rebuilt PM'd carriage, but in this case this is just for demonstration purposes. We're going to put the same one back in. Alright, guide your wires up through to the top. Once you push it up, you can see the grease here in the middle. You see that you're lined up with the pin. So we want to put the pin in now while we're holding it in place. Sometimes you need 3 hands, it feels like, but we'll get it in there. There we go. Once you slide it up in the hole, you can use your screwdriver and tighten it on down. It's not going right, so I'm going to back it up so the threads will catch. And go back in the right direction. Alright, the line-up pin is in there. I'll put the set screw that holds that in place because that bolt should just be snug, not very tight. This bolt here will hold it in place. Okay, connect the heater wires back, thermocouple back, 2 screws on the bottom. You push this up against that spring plate we just looked at. Spring up out of the way and run your screws in the front and the back. Once you get these screws in, to check it, make sure you are correct. You should be able to push up on it and it spring up and down. If it springs up and down, you're good. Use your 13mm wrench, tighten these bolts back up. They should be just pretty snug, not super tight. Okay. After that, you want to kind of do a visual inspection of everything. Make sure all your springs look good here. You have springs on the thermal print head. Make sure those springs look good and not overstretched. You check your air pressure. Make sure your air pressure is good. On this unit we're just demoing, so it's off, but it should be between about 4 to 5 bar. And that's usually a pretty good setting. Check the belt in the back. Everything looks good there. Just kind of do a visual inspection. Everything else, it looks good. Nothing looks out of place. That will complete the monthly portion of the PM, except for the weekly. After you do the monthly, do the weekly PM, and you should be ready to roll.